everyone, welcome to Beetle Crown. If you are new here, we're excited to have you on our project, and if you are an existing contributor, we're excited to have you continue tasking. So the point of this project is basically to create tasks that will make the model fail, both on a reasoning error and an incorrect ground truth final answer. And the prompts that you are using will be across two domains, math and puzzles. So if you do have a math task, it will also have two other requirements, which will be a difficulty level and a subdomain. The difficulty level will always be above high school. So this includes undergraduate and graduate level. You can choose either. And the subdomain will be from a list of different subdomains. So those are outlined in the instructions. So you'll have applied math, counting and probability, discrete math, geometry, number theory, algebra, pre-calc, and calculus. We encourage you, if you are not confident in the subdomain, to please skip the task. There will be no penalty for skipping tasks, and we want you to write prompts in subdomains that you are confident in. So when you open up your task, you will see a domain, like I said, difficulty and subdomain. Also, as aforementioned, the point of this project is to create tasks that make the model fail. So you do have to make challenging prompts. However, you cannot in any circumstance use AI to create your prompts, and you also cannot use existing hard problems that are on the internet. So I have gone ahead and already done a number theory prompt in order to make sure that this would make the model fail. So this says find all solutions to m squared plus n times m plus n squared equals m minus 3 cubed, where m and n are both non-zero integers. So after you type in your prompt, you will confirm that you are writing a prompt with one possible correct answer. So it must be objective. So although this is asking to find all the solutions, there's a discrete and finite set of solutions. And so that concludes that there is one possible correct answer. Then you will confirm that you are writing at a undergraduate or graduate level. So this is an undergraduate level number theory question. So I would choose this and proceed. If you do choose that it's not above high school level, there will be a linter that will come up and you will not be able to continue. You will have to redo the prompt. This clarification will emphasize the point that you must have both a reasoning and final answer error, and you should not be reloading the model response. You will have one model response, and you will have to evaluate that this model response failed, both on a reasoning and final answer error. So the easiest way to do this is to, number one, create a prompt that you are familiar with and know the right answer. And once the model response is generated, let's first check that the ground truth final answer is wrong. That's often easier to check than the reasoning error. So we see that this does not contain the full set. So we've copied the solution here. I worked this problem, and this is the correct solution. Here, the issue with this model response is that it's having this incorrect assumption that because of this part of the problem, because that must be non-negative, this whole expression must also be non-negative, and it's essentially being a little bit too strict on the subset of values that can exist for m and n. So these are two of the possible answers, but the full set of possible answers also includes other pairs. So I would say that yes, the model did fail. In addition to checking that this is incorrect, I have separately worked through and see that it is being too strict. So here, the specific assumption that the model is making is incorrect. So that is a reasoning error. I want to emphasize that a lot of times, these models are very good or very bad at failing on calculation errors. So for example, if here something is like it's 2/4 and they do 2/4 plus 3/4 equals 6/4, that is a calculation error. That is not a reasoning error. So even if the ground truth answer is incorrect, that does not necessarily mean that there is a full model failure. So we'll confirm that there's model failure. confirm that there's a reasoning error, and we'll explain what the reasoning error is. So here you will type out, your reasoning error. Please make it 1 to 2 sentences. And you will also confirm that the final answer is incorrect. And then you will also explain 1 to 2 sentences on how to get the correct final answer. So to get the correct final answer, this can be a lot more succinct. So I would say that, you could make this about like 1 to 2 sentences again. I'm just going to paste this in to show you how you would do the task. Again, these should both be much more concise and succinct. And then here you will type in only the ground truth final answer. So it will be just whatever the subset of equations would be to produce the correct ground truth final answer. So this is all you need. You don't need the full explanation. And then you save and continue. And that will be your task, and you will be able to submit it. And that's it. So to reiterate, you will do a task in the specified domain and specified subdomain. Your difficulty for math tasks will always be this. This is just a reminder. You will confirm that your task is objective. You will note what level of difficulty your task is. You will evaluate the response and confirm that there is a reasoning and final answer error. So this is for both. This is for the reasoning. You explain the reasoning error. This is for the final answer error. You explain how to get the correct final answer. And most importantly, you provide the correct final answer here. And that's it.